my recommendation, and it's not going to be a black and white, here's what it is, do this and you're done type of deal, because there's no answer like that. As far as getting started with automation, I've done webinars over an hour long just to discuss that, how to start really. But the short answer, if you want to just take it easy, is go through your tickets first. Go through the tickets that you get, Ethan, and you're going to see some repetition. Oh, I get tickets about PC build all the time. I get tickets about installing apps all the time. I get tickets about BitLocker management. I get tickets about issues site to site, things like that. And as you start looking at these tickets, you're going to be able to see, okay, here's what I need to automate. One of the most common automation that people get is I need to install applications. So my recommended approach to this, and I've shown this a million times on this webinar, is installing Chocolatey packages. Chocolatey, it is a free to use platform. It's completely free for commercial use. It's awesome. It does throttle if you use it like way heavy, but it works super well. So what you do is you would use this automation policy and you download it. And what this policy does is that it will install the Chocolatey app. It's a very small little app. It will install that silently. It's right here. Once you install, actually, you know what? Let's just go through it. So I'm going to download the policy and quickly show it to you guys. I'm going to go to downloads, Chocolatey. And then basically what it does, if I make this smaller, is that it will check if Chocolatey is not installed. If it is not, it will install it. That does it through right here. Once it's done that, it will find whatever apps you wanted to install, and it will loop through and install them all. It's actually super simple. I built this app probably a year and a half, 2 years ago now. When did I build it the first time? I updated it in February, but I think I published that probably like 2020, around 2020. It's a very amazing, simple app. And what it will do is if you go to chocolatey.org, like that, and you go to community, packages, there's thousands upon thousands of packages. And what you would do is with that policy, when you run it, so if I say run, it asks you for the app name with a comma in this case. And what you do is you would say the app name would be Adobe Reader, one word, no space. And then there's one for Google Chrome, Flash, and so on and so on and so on. And now whatever apps you want to install, you can. It actually works for Office as well. So if you search for Office, where is it? Actually, you know what? Office 365, yeah, let's make that easier. Office 365 Home Premium, Office 365 Business, Office 365 Pro Plus, and so on. There's a ton of different apps that you can install. There's thousands upon thousands of them. And this is curated and monitored by the community. So if you go into any app, it shows you who the maintainers are, and it shows you basically what the scripts do. You can actually see the script files right here. And it shows you the download URL. So you can actually just grab those and do it yourself if you want to, but if you want to use the app the way it's intended, it basically shows you the script, then you can use that and install. That is one of the most common things people do with automation. Oh, this customer wanted me to deploy the latest version of Adobe Reader everywhere. And you can use patch management to update it, but if it's not deployed, it's not going to deploy it for you. Then run this automation on every machine and you're done. Deploy Adobe Reader, deploy Google Chrome, deploy this, deploy that, and it will just do it for you. I have partners that have used this to deploy 365 to 1,000 machines at once. Makes it super easy. You can make your own repository local. There's a paid version, there's a free version. It all works super well. So that is one of the most basic, absolutely recommended automation that you use. Absolutely everybody, in my opinion, should be using it. The next one, if you're starting with automation, is looking into recent vulnerabilities. And that is something that our security nerd, Lewis, is very good at doing. He monitors what's happening in the industry. So basically, he did a Log4j vulnerability scanner for RMM and one for Central. So if you're not doing much automation, you should at least use that and see, are my machines vulnerable to Log4j? Then a couple other ones, installing PowerShell 7. I talked about that earlier. It's something that more and more people are asking for. And then so on. There's a lot of different things. So depending on what you really are looking for, it kind of makes sense to start little bite-sized chunk, right? Like BitTorrent detection is another one that I found that people are finding very popular, and I'm getting a lot of questions and feedback on, is because people don't want torrent to run anywhere, even if it's a work from home environment. I don't care if it's the customer's bandwidth and the end user's bandwidth, right? Like I'm working at home right now, but you can clearly see. My boss doesn't want me to run torrent on my work computer, even though I'm at home, because it's not the bandwidth that's the issue, it's the vulnerability, the security aspects of it, right? It's illegal also for most of what people do. So I really recommend to use an application like an automation like this. This one's for N-central, there's one for RMM that will allow you to monitor if BitTorrent is being used. If it is, it can actually kill BitTorrent and set a flag in RMM to go failed and notify you that someone's doing that. And that will help you mitigate that risk. And just again, bite-sizing it, right? Like, oh, I'm getting all these tickets about network issues. Monitor BitTorrent. I'm getting all these tickets about BitLocker not working, or my customer asking me to turn on BitLocker, which reminds me I should probably turn on BitLocker back. There you go. But yeah, so it's just a matter of using those automations. So what I recommend, Ethan, is really that. Another thing is coming to those office hours, because you'll see what people do, what people are asking for, and that will kind of set yourself to see what should you do next, right? So that is really a starting point. I don't have a defined list of 10 things you can do. I do have some blog articles I posted a while back through the enable.com/blog. It's blog with no S. Enable.com/blog, I think it is. Put in the chat. You're welcome to go check there. I've made articles about, getting started with automation, basic automation policies, things like that. It's a good way to start. Beyond that, what I'd recommend, Ethan, is reach out to me. It's like, hey, Mark, here's a use case I have. What do you recommend? And a lot of times I may refer you to office hours. I may give you something that's already done. I may direct you to someone on the team, whatever the case is, but at least there should be a good answer for you. So that's also something that you can take in mind.